It's that time of the year again, the time every football fan desperately awaits. A time when everything else just takes a back seat.
Yes, it's time to leave everything behind, put on your jerseys and grab onto your seats.
Hello and welcome to this brand new episode. I'm Chaitanya.
And I'm Aditya.
And this is Total Football.
Wow, this feels great.
Absolutely. Today we are going to talk a lot of football on the pitch and a lot more off the pitch. Let's take a look at today's rundown. We kick off with the latest news from the transfer window in our transfer segment, and then we are going to talk about Robin van Persie. That should be fun.
Not for me.
I think so.
No, you're not.
Not really. We'll also be taking a look at Liverpool's 23rd manager in Brendan Rodgers and his new style at Liverpool, as well as the new European champions Roberto Di Matteo's Chelsea.
And the build-up to the big game tonight, the Spanish Super Cup. Barcelona versus Real Madrid, the season's first El Clasico. And we have a lot of other fun stuff in our Predictor and Extra Time segments.
Well, there has been a lot of activity in the current transfer window, and we'll be evaluating some of the major transfers made as well as speculated this season. And we start off with a certain Javi Martinez, a centre-back from Bilbao.
Yes.
40 million pounds for Javi Martinez. What do you think, Aditya?
Well, that is his buyout clause, and he is one of the better centre-backs, and he's only 23.
But 23, 40 million pounds, he's still kind of an unknown entity in the world of European football.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you say that. In fact, Beckenbauer said he doesn't even know who Martinez is. But if Bayern are after him, he must be a good player.
Well, Martinez certainly isn't a household name as the great Kaiser, but Bayern are clearly willing to match that amount. And with the likes of Philipp Lahm, Jerome Boateng, young Olga Bachtuba, they're really trying to strengthen their defense this year, aren't they?
Which they really need to do. They need to strengthen that back line. It did cost them 2 Champions League titles.
And you're forgetting one of them was at their own home ground last year at the hands of Chelsea.
That's true, but it is a good transfer overall.
Javi Martinez was left out for Bilbao squad in Sunday's games, but it seems which is a very clear indicator that the transfer is bound to happen.
Yep.
Speaking of transfers bound to happen, Aditya, you must be feeling good.
I know where you're going with this.
Nuri Sahin is poised to join Arsenal on a season-long loan.
No, that's not where I thought you were going with this. But it is actually really interesting because, as you've heard, Alex Song is now on his way to Barcelona. And with Sahin coming in, it's probably looking good because Wenger must be confident if he's let go of Song.
Well, with the likes of Santi Cazorla, Lucas Podolski, he might be a very good addition to that Arsenal
Slotting right
attack.
behind there, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And with the departure of Alex Song, also comes that point where you want another, midfield boss in the region. And, well, Arsene Wenger has done that. In fact, an 8 million bid for raw midfielder Jan Mvia has also been lodged. So let's see where that takes Arsenal.
And now I know you're going to get excited, and I hate to mention it, but Kaká?
Oh, fingers crossed on that one, buddy.
Shoot me
Fingers
now,
crossed
shoot
on
me
that
now.
one. Another defensive player who was omitted from Arsenal's squad last weekend when they kicked off their campaign against Sunderland was Alex Song. Well, the blogger Anna have again poached one of your finer talents from the club for a reported 19 million euros on a 5-year deal. But the funny part is, and I really think it's funny, a buyout clause of 80 million pounds for the Cameroon midfielder, really?
Well, all I can say is ka-ching, and that Arsenal FC need to take some better decisions and have some better decision takers. The board of directors, the CEO. It's a shame how we're losing our best players every single freaking season.
Well, this must be killing you.
You have no idea. Well, no player leaving the club is happy news for any supporter, but being an Arsenal fan has become increasingly tormenting the past few years. First it was Fabregas, which of course I've made peace with. But then what started with Nasri, and then Van Persie, and now of course Song. Well, frankly, I just miss Tony Adams.
Well, don't we all? He was a great leader. And speaking of leaders in Arsenal, what of Robin van Persie?
So let's just get on with it. Bring it on. Come on.
Well, Robin van Persie has been the talk of the town this season. The transfer did drag on for an extremely long while, with both City and Juventus making cameo bids, which finally ended in a huge heartbreak for Arsenal fans when the star striker decided to join You guessed it, arch rivals Manchester United.
Heartbreak
Red
is the
Devils
word.
on a
Heartbreak
four-year
is the
deal.
word. I don't know what to say, but what I can, I think I can speak for the entire Arsenal community when I say that the transfer is just, and there's a technical term for this, pissed me off. Well, not as much as United supporters last season though, losing to City. But of all the clubs now, I don't know why he had to go and join Man U. I mean, go to Juventus, go to City, but no, he has to go to United.
Well, I'm just gonna go with the popular opinion and say he wanted to win some trophies.
Really? You're going to go with that popular opinion? Well, let me just say this. Okay, if he wanted to win titles, why didn't he go to City, who won the league last season? Why didn't he go to Juventus, who won the league last season? What has United done? List themselves on the stock market. Sell their souls, sell their souls.
Beggars are never choosers, Aditya. Well, he certainly thinks United are more capable of winning trophies than City, Juventus, or even Arsenal for that matter. So it's the horse's mouth that matters.
We will see. But I don't understand is why throw away your entire Arsenal career by joining a rival club? I mean, okay, in the choice between Arsenal legend and ex-Man United, I think he's made a terrible choice. I mean, although he'll get a big fat paycheck, he's never going to take Wayne Rooney's place.
It is about loyalty?
Absolutely. You disrespect the club who made your name, you disrespect the manager who stood by you like a rock during all your injury-ridden times, then you go ahead and join the rivals. Remember Gianfranco Zola?
Sure
Fantastic player for Chelsea.
Best
What
ever.
did he win with them?
Nothing.
Nada. Nothing. But he'll always be remembered as a true legend.
Wow. You and your Arsenal frustrations, and I can see that the Gunners are really pissed off. I, on the other hand, am very excited to see RVP in our ranks. What this means for United though, Arsenal and especially the Flying Dutchman remains to be seen.
Indeed. And now here's this week's trivia question for you to test your football knowledge. Question: who was Sir Alex Ferguson's first signing as manager of Manchester United? Hint: he also played for Arsenal.
No. I know this one.
You don't have a Scooby-Doo clue, do you, mate? No. You're supposed to be hosting a football show, man. Come on. Anyway, you guys at home can post your answers on the Total Football website. That's www.totalfootball.in, or our Twitter handle, which is @TFShow, or even on Facebook, which is Total Football Fans.
Okay, so a brand new season and a brand new manager for Liverpool yet again.
I know, it's not even funny anymore. With all the success and glory of a club like that, it's really sad to see it in such ruins.
Well, again, as you said, it comes down to a string of bad decisions. It all started with the sacking of Rafael Benitez. With him at the helm of things, Liverpool could have really challenged for silverware this season.
Absolutely, Benitez left and the star players followed him right out the door. Alonso, Arbeloa, Kuyt and Torres, that's four big ones right there.
Well, hopefully Rodgers can restore some strength into the squad, although they've had a pretty lean start to the season, losing 3-0 to West Brom in their opening match.
Not a promising start, especially after last season's worst in 18 years. That was the worst in 18 years, their finish.
That was a long time coming. How about Di Matteo and Chelsea? Seems like the European champions are just flying with the transfer funds flowing. How do you think the season looks for them?
Well. Di Matteo has already proved that he's the best thing to ever happen to Chelsea since Roman Abramovich.
Couldn't be true.
With all these big signings he's made, the season looks good for them.
With Drogba leaving for Pastors anew, do you think that's going to affect them come this season?
No, not really. They've already reinforced the squad with Eden Hazard, Marco Marin and Oscar. So a lot of attacking options. Plus, if Torres finds his form, replacing Drogba's role, Chelsea will be a real threat. However, we've seen what Hazard and Marin are capable of. The question of whether a player like Hazard can survive in the Premier League against teams like Wigan, who physical presence and a hard game, that's already been answered. So, I don't really see anything stopping them right now.
Well, City did beat Chelsea in the FA Community Shield, so it's really a question of consistency. Who will survive in the long run? Well, we have talked about Rodgers, we've talked about Di Matteo. Let's also take a look at Spurs and their new, or may I say their old new manager in Andre Villas-Boas.
Yeah, he's not new to the Premier League now, is he?
It certainly isn't. The Premier League is merciless, and sadly for Villas-Boas, he had to find it the hard way.
And the learning continues. Spurs were defeated by Newcastle in the opening game, and the team he put out wasn't bad at all. But Newcastle at home, of course, are always going to be tough. Plus, he's on the verge of losing Luka Modric to Real Madrid. So Spurs supporters, I think you're in for a bumpy ride.
Well, alright, it's time for our big game segment. We are going to take a look at tonight's Spanish Super Cup match between Barcelona and Real Madrid, the Spanish equivalent of the FA Community Shield. Although a showcase match, it is no less competitive than any other matches between these two clubs, isn't it, Aditya?
Yes, when it comes down to Real Madrid and Barcelona, it's all about competition.
Well, the two Spanish giants go head-to-head in a show-off of power. Will it be Real Madrid who take all the glory, or will it be the Blaugrana who demolish the Bernabeu?
Barcelona, hands down Barcelona.
I bet Real are gonna embarrass Barcelona this time round.
Come on, you're just saying that because you want to be anti-Barcelona.
Doesn't everyone? That team is just so hard to beat, it's almost frustrating.
Well, not unless you do it Chelsea.
You know, a part of me was really happy when Chelsea beat Barcelona, but the way they did it was...
I totally agree. Johan Cruyff himself came out and said it was plain anti-football. Defensive tactic is one thing, but running down the clock without any aggression, just wrong, kinda sad.
Well, Barcelona did enjoy an opening game against Real Sociedad last weekend, winning by 5-1. Puyol, Pedro, Messi and even the returning David Villa were all on the score sheet. While Real Madrid, surprisingly so, were held to a 1-1 draw by Valencia, which was
Tough opening game.
A very tough game to start with. But can this slender advantage count in Barcelona's case for the ongoing season? Can it affect their Super Cup clash in any way?
Well, the odds are stacked against Real. I mean, Messi looks as strong as ever. In fact, physically, he's put on quite a bit of bulk. David Villa has returned, as you said, and is already scoring. Plus, they have a wonderful addition in Alex Song, even though I hate to admit it. Ronaldo, in fact, does play his heart out on Real's side, but it's players like Ozil, Di Maria, and Benzema who really need to step up to the plate.
And Real haven't really spent in the transfer window now, have they?
No, not really. I mean, not as much as usual. And not as much as they did last season, indeed. Real do have a tremendous squad, and they won the league last season just because of the squad's strength.
Oh, come on, Barcelona have a good squad as Real. Even better, I might say.
Yeah, I mean the squad, not the team, you see. Real had at least two players competing for every position. Whereas Barcelona really suffered in the league after Villa got injured in the Club World Cup and Iniesta was also out for quite some time.
Yeah, right.
But now everyone is fit and that energy is going to be back and we're going to see the good old Barcelona take them down.
Well, we sure do, and it is going to be interesting what kind of a team Tito Vilanova puts out for the first El Clasico. Although he has inherited the team that Pep Guardiola did raise up, he's going to want to uphold the faith that everyone has in the team. And that is a lot of pressure considering the fact that Barcelona almost won everything on offer.
And the good thing about Vilanova is that he's been around the boys all this time. Of course, he was right beside Guardiola during his entire tenure. He really believes he can replicate Pep's success, and if you can't do it with that squad, then...
Well, I'm sure Jose Mourinho must be raring to have a go at the new manager. Hopefully he doesn't take matter into his own hands or thumbs, I don't know, fingers this time.
I know what you mean, the eye poke incident, and Barcelona were furious when UEFA did not punish Mourinho for that act.
Well, it's Ronaldo versus Messi, Barcelona versus Real Madrid. We will be here, you will be here, but the debate will always continue. Now we're almost into our extra time segment where we read your email and answer your questions. For all the football fanatics out there, please write to us, send us your stories, your pictures, your experiences, your debates, and you might just get a chance to be here.
It's time for Burst the Bubble, where we show you a picture of players, managers, or anything to do with football, and you burst the bubble by guessing what they might be saying or thinking. Here, for example, is a picture of Wayne Rooney with Robin van Persie. I think Van Persie just told him he's got more hair than him.
I think Alex Ferguson has more players than Arsene Wenger, and that's not funny.
Ha.
Okay guys, after that, we are at the end of our first episode of Total Football.
But we'll be back next week with a lot more football and fun. Until then, don't forget to check out the website, www.totalfootball.in, where you can stay updated with the latest in football and a host of other exciting stuff.
And remember, it's not just football,
It's
total
total football.
football.